Football's history shines with countless stars, each a unique constellation of talent, passion, and circumstance. Some reach for the sky, carving their names into the hearts of fans, while others ascend to the highest peaks, earning the title of legend. These legends, though diverse in their journeys, share threads woven into the fabric of their greatness. We might not find the exact same threads in every case, but with a dash of logic, we can recognize when many of these threads intertwine within a single individual, hinting at a transformation into legend. Though predicting the future is a tricky business, if there's one player currently simmering with the potential to become a legend, it is Kylian! Why? 5 key ingredients that have the world buzzing about Real Madrid's latest Galactico sign. What are those 5 ingredients? Let's find out. Number 1. The spark of untamed talent. It's very natural to be a talented player and not become a legend, but you can never be a legend without being talented. Mbappe's talent was evident from his early days, so early in fact that he bore children his age. Mr. Atman Erosh, the president of Bondi Club, the club where Kylian grew up as a child, spoke to the BBC and said that Kylian never played with children his own age. It bored him to death. Consequently, his coaches needed to find older players to challenge. Kylian was such a natural talent, too obvious to anyone who sees him play for the first time. This natural ability caught the eyes of world-class clubs when he was just 11, like Chelsea. Tested him and invited him for a second test, but his mother said no. She thought it was disrespectful for her son to go for a second test, and Mbappe stayed in France. Chelsea regretted the talent that exploded later with Monaco, where he proved to Chelsea and the whole world how much he deserved the chance. Now, Mbappe remains one of the most coveted talents in Europe. Moving on to the second ingredient in our recipe, which is a passion that burns bright. From the time he could walk, Mbappe's love for the game was undeniable. Erosh also spoke about this with the BBC. He said that he used to see Kylian as a child under the age of 2. He accompanied his father to every training session with a ball in hand. First, he would play with the ball for some time. Then he would sit and watch the team in preparation, soaking up the atmosphere and the coach's instructions. I need to remind you again that we're talking about a 2-year-old child. So what would he be like when he grows up? One of the people closest to Kylian during his time with Bondi Club as a young boy also speaks to the BBC. Antonio Riccardi, coach of the under-13 team at Bondi Club when Mbappe was there. He says that Kylian was consumed by the game. He was either talking about football or watching football matches. And if he's not doing any of those things, he's playing football on the PlayStation. An unnatural attachment since he was just a child. Kylian's passion for the game knew no bounds. We can see the culmination of this passion from Mbappe's own words. When asked to write a letter to young children advising them on what to do to get what they want, through the famous website, the Players' Tribune, Mbappe spoke with obvious emotion and told a story about when he was 3 years old. His father bought him a 4x4 toy car for his birthday, and instead of playing with the car like any normal child, he would drive the little car across the street to the football field next to his house, pretending to be a football player driving his car to train. How cute. He continued doing so every day without getting bored. He didn't care about the car that all other children envied him for. All what Kylian cared about was one thing: football. This unyielding passion, evident in all these stories, is like a fire that burns ever brighter throughout Kylian's career. Now we can see that Kylian's recipe, the legendary, has got 2 ingredients: talent and passion. Of course they're crucial, but they need the right circumstances to flourish, like a petri dish. So let's move on to the third ingredient, which is the ideal environment. Mbappe wasn't born into abject poverty, nor he was smothered in a golden cage. Kylian was born to a middle-class family. The father, Wilfred Mbappe, a Cameroonian immigrant, a former player and youth coach at Bondi Club, and the mother, Hala Madrid, an Algerian immigrant and a former handball player. A hard-working family in which both parents are former athletes should know how much important sports is, and this made a huge difference in Mbappe's life. The father, Wilfred, was the one responsible for training Kylian the basics of football. He remained his coach for 10 years, while the mother, Faiza, oversees all of Kylian's personal affairs. She remains his business manager to this day. Both invested time, money and effort in Kylian to provide him with all support he needs to be the best version of himself. Kylian always credits his family for standing by him all the time. Kylian says that when he was 11 years old, he was playing in a youth tournament. His team reached to the semi-final, and the match was to be played in a real stadium with a lot of fans. This was the first time for Kylian to face this kind of pressure. He was very scared and nervous. He almost didn't touch the ball throughout the match and his team lost. Then his mother came to him. She grabbed him by the ear and spoke to him harshly. She wasn't upset because he played badly. She was upset because he was afraid. And she told him literally, "You will remember this day for the rest of your life. You have to believe in yourself even if you fail. You can miss 60 chances, no one will care. But the fact that you refuse to play because you're afraid will haunt you as long as you live." This memory was etched in Mbappe's mind. He was never afraid on any field for the rest of his life. And that was really the case. We all saw what Mbappe did in the World Cup final. Not once, but twice. Mbappe shattered records as the highest scoring player ever in a World Cup final. And it's not just his family who provided him with this ideal environment, his country also provided it. Mbappe joined when he was 11 years old the prestigious football academy Clairefontaine. This ultra-famous French academy is supervised by the French Football Federation. Its aim is to discover and develop talents in all aspects, to graduate players of world-class standard. Among the names that have passed through the academy, and just to name a few, Nicolas Anelka, William Gallas, and the legend, Thierry Henry. Kylian spent 3 years at the academy until the age of 14. He learned how to use his skills and talent in a way that helps his team, in addition to acquiring tactical awareness and many other skills, like using the weak foot. Ultimately, Kylian Mbappe was a star project shared by all parties, whether his family or his country. The goal was to create the perfect breeding ground for his talent to blossom. Now we have 3 ingredients: talent, passion, and the perfect environment. So what do we need next to make the perfect recipe? The answer is the inspiring role model. The role model is the person who sets an example by his behavior, his work, and his success. He's a person whose presence is always a motivator to do your best. Sometimes you lose your spark and your love for something fades, but seeing someone you look up to overcome challenges can rekindle that fire. Mbappe's role model was a legend himself, Cristiano Ronaldo. He adorned his walls with his posters, dreaming of meeting him one day, and this dream came true when Mbappe visited the Santiago Bernabéu as a teenager. The similarities between Mbappe and Ronaldo go beyond playing style. They share an unwavering enthusiasm, a relentless work ethic, and insatiable ambition. This influence, coupled with the unforgettable experience of facing his idol on the pitch, fuels Mbappe's own journey. And who's more entitled to succeed the Don than Mbappe? To be honest, there is no one. Now our recipe is nearly done, but we need to spice it up a little bit. Hence the 5th ingredient, the professional spice. It's the professional mentality that fuels the journey from amateur to professional. Unlike the amateur, who might plateau after achieving something, the professional sees each victory as a stepping stone. He continuously seeks improvement, embracing criticism as a tool for growth. Thus, he rises from setbacks, learning valuable lessons. Mbappe embodies this mentality. And who else have it? Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, the undisputed titans of football for the past 15 to 20 years. Perhaps Mbappe is a potential contender to follow their path. He proved having such mentality in various occasions, like when he didn't join the celebratory frenzy after Monaco's league win, choosing instead a quiet celebration with family, or the fact that despite only playing in France, he speaks 3 languages fluently. French, his mother tongue.
On est toujours fiers parce qu'on travaille toute l'année.
English, the most widely spoken language in the world.
Like you said, you are a player like Messi, Lewandowski, Cristiano.
And Spanish too. Yes, Mbappe speaks Spanish fluently. Driven by his lifelong dream, he learned the language to pave the way for a seamless adaptation to his new club. Also on the field, Mbappe has proven with conclusive evidence his terrible winning mentality. In a tough match like the 2022 World Cup final, his team was losing 2-0. Only 10 minutes left, but he didn't lose hope for a moment. Mbappe was terrifying for the Argentina defense. He scored 2 goals in regular time to equalize for the Roosters before scoring the historic hat-trick in extra time and equalizing again for his team. He also scored the first penalty kick against Emiliano Martinez, who can get on the nerves of any player in the world. What kind of player possesses the resilience to endure relentless pressure without crumbling? So there you have it, the 5 ingredients simmering in Mbappé's pot: talent, passion, the perfect environment, a role model, and the professional mentality. a recipe that could well cook up a legend. Of course, the future remains unwritten, but with these ingredients in his arsenal, Mbappe is a strong contender to break records, lift trophies, and etch his name among the greats. Do you think he has what it takes to become Real Madrid's all-time top scorer, surpassing even Cristiano Ronaldo? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you made it this far, you're clearly one of us, the extra time travelers. Join the crew by subscribing.